All right. Yeah, want to find a seat. All right, welcome. My name is Brad Little. I'm the Vice President and Managing Director for Netgear in Australia and New Zealand. And first, let me welcome you to the very lovely Ivy Penthouse. But secondly, and most importantly, I get to introduce you today to Arlo. Now, before I do get into that, I'll just give you a quick update on, I suppose, what's brought us to this point today. Now, Netgear, we've had a lot of success in Australia and New Zealand over the past 12, 18, 24 months. We've celebrated many milestones. Some of those firsts include we've been the first to bring to market next generation 802.11ac Wi-Fi. We were the first in the market to push the boundaries of range and speed with our Nighthawk lineup of products. We were the first in Australia to launch a tri-band Wi-Fi product, optimised for all of those many devices that live in the house today. Another significant milestone, and probably the biggest, is to date, we've managed to ship more than 84 million routers and modem routers into homes across the world. But where do we go from here? So we've all seen and heard the trend of more and more everyday devices that we can access, control, and manage beyond their, I suppose, their primary purpose. So we've all seen, or heard of light bulbs that change colour as the sun comes up, door locks that you can open with your mobile phone, watches that sit there and monitor your heart rate and sleep patterns, right through to an electric toothbrush that turns a chore into a fun game via an app for kids. And in fact, according to GfK, all of these devices that we're defining as smart devices, until recently, are now starting to outsell those traditional devices. What does that mean? It now basically can turn the average Australian home into a smart home. But ultimately, what makes a smart home for me, for you, can be very different. So what we do is we, first of all, we try to define what's a smart home, what's the benefits, what's the real world benefits for people having a smart device and turning their home into a smart one. We break these into 4 categories. So first of all, comfort. They're the devices and the benefits that enhance your everyday lifestyle. Peace of mind. The devices and benefits that reassure you, let you stop and look in and take a peek at what matters to you most while you go about your busy day. Energy efficiency. They're the devices that, by understanding how we consume energy, we can optimize how much energy we use, and of course the expense. And smart entertainment. With more and more video content and audio content accessible every day, it's now not about watching one big movie on the home theatre at home, it's about consuming that content whenever you want, wherever you want, on whatever screen. I've jumped forward. So, the last point I wanted to make. Now, we've gone and done some research, and throughout all of that experience that we have, globally, probably the most relevant, and right now the quickest growing of all of those segments comes down to personal monitoring. It's the ability to stop and take a look in to what matters to you most. And what matters to you most can be very different amongst all of us. And with that, what I'd like to do is I'll introduce Pat Collins. Pat Collins is Netgear's Vice President of Smart Home, and he'll be able to make an introduction of his own. Thanks.
Thanks, Brad. Actually, I have the lapels, but I need that. There we go. Okay, everybody hear me okay? Does this work?
Yeah.
Hey, so as Brad mentioned, the smart home market is growing extremely fast worldwide, and also, as Brad mentioned, probably the fastest growing category and the largest segment of that market is home security monitoring. And before we set out to build our own home security monitoring camera, which you all know as Arlo, We want to understand the market a little better, and most importantly, we want to understand what consumers wanted. So we partnered with Parks Associates and did a little research study. And within that research study, we asked the question, if you owned a home video monitoring solution, what features would be most important to you? And it's clear that having high definition video is important, but it's also clear that consumers would want a solution that's 100% wire-free. And wire-free is very important because you don't have to worry about finding power outlets or dragging ugly power cords throughout the house. Right? And then if you go down the list, it pretty much makes sense what you would want in a home video monitoring solution, right? You want night vision so you can see what's going on 24/7. You want motion detection alerts delivered directly to your phone, so you don't always have to be kind of looking in real time to see what's happening. You get alerted when there's an event. You want your cameras to work indoor, outdoor, so you can get a view of your entire home, not just inside. And of course, you want all that delivered to your smartphone or tablet from anywhere in the world. Now, until recently, no such solution has existed, but that's what we are announcing and launching here in Australia. Arlo is the first and only 100% wire-free, high-definition video camera that bundles all the most important features into one solution. Okay, Arlo is 100% wire-free. It's easy to set up the cameras. It's literally a quick registration and a couple of clicks and you're done. Within 5 minutes, you'll have your cameras. And it's easy to place these cameras anywhere you want around the house. The batteries will last anywhere from 4 to 6 months under normal use, which means you really only have to worry about changing your batteries out a couple of times a year. Arlo works indoor and outdoor. So that associated or along with being 100% wire-free means that within minutes of opening the box, you get an entire panoramic view of your entire home. Arlo is perfectly happy being outside in the elements. Arlo works in the rain, the sleet, the snow, the wind, the cold, and the hot summers. And Arlo has integrated night vision into the camera. So you can see what's going on 24/7, and Arlo will automatically switch over to night vision mode when it turns dark. The other key thing here is that you get to monitor kind of the dark corners of your property, right? So it's not just a matter of finding if you have a power outlet outside, you can plug your camera into the power outlet. You can literally put this anywhere around the perimeter of your home. And Arlo streams 720p HD video, and it has a 130-degree field of view. You can view up to 4 simultaneous live streams on your browser, iOS, or Android device. And Arlo is designed 100% mobile. So in other words, anything you can do on a browser, you can do on your mobile device. And in addition to iOS and Android, we also have an app for Kindle. And that includes setting up your cameras, changing your camera settings, and then also viewing your recorded video clips. And all video clips are stored in our secure cloud. It's easy to sort and find your video clips using our easy-to-use calendar app. And we also have set up a server here in Australia, so it's easy to retrieve your videos, and there's not a whole lot of latency between viewing your videos and what you see. Okay? And Arlo is more than just a camera. Arlo has an advanced rules engine that makes it a smart home system. So in the future, as we integrate and add other devices, you'll be able to trigger and talk to other devices. So for instance, imagine you get a motion detection on your camera, and you can automatically turn the lights on outside of your home. And
I care about my family's safety. That's why I chose Arlo. First, weatherproof HD security camera that's 100% wire-free with no power cords. So Arlo can be placed where the other cameras can't go. Day or night, Arlo captures clear HD video. And the free app lets me see it all from my mobile devices. Arlo makes security easy and affordable. No cords, no wires, no worries. Find your Arlo HD security camera at arlo.com/au.
And because Arlo is so versatile, there's a number of use cases that work great with Arlo that you just can't do with other camera solutions. So home monitoring, which is probably the most often used case. You stay connected to your family, of course. See who's at the door, that's a big one. We find a lot of people, they put the cameras in their front porch, kind of aim it down, so the courier comes and drops off the package, you get a motion alert, you check it out, you call your wife or your husband to let them know that the package is there. Basically just to stay connected to your family. Business security is another great use case for Arlo. Similar to home security, right? You can get a view of your entire property, your business property. Unlike what you would need to do today, where you would have to buy, a $5,000, professionally installed camera system with Arlo, it's really easy to set up. You can do it yourself, and it costs a fraction of the cost. Pet monitoring is another great use case. And the great one, at least in the US, I would say probably half the people keep their pets outside in a kind of outside caged pen. So with most cameras, you wouldn't be able to do that. Arlo, you simply put it on your outside pen and you can watch your pet when he's outside. And then of course there's family monitoring, and we listed out a couple of use cases that we see folks adopting. Of course, checking in on sleeping babies, and I think what makes Arlo the most interesting for checking in on sleeping babies, it's not putting Arlo on the crib, but if you're like my kids tend to kind of fall asleep wherever they feel like falling asleep, right? So on the floor, in the crib, in the pack and play. So what I personally do, and we know a number of other folks do, is you'll actually take the camera from the crib and put it wherever the baby is, and you can go about your business and continue to do your work. Okay, so that's it. And now Brad's actually going to come up and talk about products and kitting.
All right, so just a quick, now I hope you've all had a good chance to go through, have a look at the products. There's quite a few Netgear stuff around that can help you understand some of these use cases a little bit more, some of the easy use features, some of the mounting options, and some of the accessories. So Arlo has started shipping this week and will start to be available from most major retailers pretty much from now. The kit itself will come with one base station and then multiples of cameras. Okay, so at the entry level, base station with a single camera. Right now, the most popular pack is the one that comes with 2 cameras there, $589, right up to a 3-camera pack. Available through most major retailers in Australia, if not already, in the coming days. We will have a range of accessories that are also available. You saw the camera by itself. We'll have individual add-on cameras, the outdoor mounts, if you want to screw those into a tree. They're a standard tripod mount. Okay, so there's several of those types of products on the market already. And then a roof or a tabletop mount for mounting them on ceilings. Now, one other thing that's really important with Arlo is, as Pat mentioned, is that all your videos are stored in the cloud. The benefit of that is you have instant access from whatever device that you have in your hand, be it a laptop or a mobile phone. Now, free in the box, we provide 1 GB of cloud storage, okay, to hold those videos, or 7 days of recordings. And after that 7 days, you can either choose to download or save individual files, or for some of those motion alerts that probably aren't that critical, maybe it's just you driving back in the driveway, they will automatically delete after the 7 days. It'll support up to 5 cameras from a single base station and 1 base station. And then from there, for customers and people that want to deploy more and more cameras or have more cloud storage, there are some subscription services that enable more cameras, greater storage for longer periods of time. Now, all of these stats, prices, spec sheets, videos, we've made all available to you on it's not on mine, it should have a little USB key there with all the press kits, all the content, and all the videos, and details of all the pricing of the subscriptions there as well. So that basically wraps it up for today. We thank you very much for coming along. We'll be around. I'm sure there'll be plenty of questions. Myself, Pat, and the rest of the Netgear team, more than happy to answer questions or provide you a live demo on how to access, how the app is configured and used.
Is Arlo short for anything? Is it an acronym? Or?
No, it's
just a snazzy name. I mean, let's see from Pat.
That's the name of name of a singer.
Yeah, they're Arlo Guthrie. That's exactly right. In fact, our senior VP of Ops runs around singing Arlo Guthrie songs because he thought that's what we named it after. No, Arlo is really a made-up name. We thought it was catchy, first of all, but most importantly, we thought it was friendly and approachable, and kind of comes across as easy, which is the brand that we wanted to put forth with this thing. Yeah.
Batteries. You mentioned there's about a 6-month battery life.
4 to 6 months, yeah.
What types of batteries does it take?
Yeah, it takes CR123 batteries. Yeah.
But one of the pictures there showed 4 AA's.
That's what I thought.
They sort of look similar.
Right.
So those of you around cameras probably see them as the old school DSLR style camera batteries.
Yeah.
So they're just energizers and they're available from most retailers or electronic stores.
So you mentioned that with the Internet of Things that Arlo could start to interact with
Other devices.
Would they be Netgear devices or open touch?
They'd be both, yeah, definitely both. So we'll be working on our own devices. Of course, I can't disclose our full roadmap, but we certainly have our own devices in the work, and we have partnerships in the works as well.
So you may have said it in the presentation, I may have missed it. I only see iOS devices there. Does it work on Android and Windows Phone as well, or is it just...
We don't have a specific app for Windows. We have specific apps for Android, iOS, and Kindle.
Yeah. Okay, that's right.
And then any browser. So that
yeah, of course,
you can access from a browser.
If it's accessible from a browser, what's used in the video effect? Did that affect whether it worked on certain tablets or again on Windows Phone?
It's Flash. So it works, on Windows Surface, works really well. In fact, I have a Windows Surface, and that's how I access my cameras most of the time. We did market research. We're still thinking about coming out with a Windows app, but the market is predominantly Android and iOS.
So the usability, you showed a video that had a windy environment with a branch blowing back and forth. Now, as this is motion activated, I would imagine that if you live in a windy environment, or your battery's going to run out quite substantially faster if you've got a lot of movement going past the camera regularly, and your small amount of free data, free account space is going to fill up a lot more quickly because you're going to basically create a lot more content of whatever it is. In that instance, it was a moving branch.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to, sort of assist the customer in that way? Because that's going to be a bit of a down product, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's something that we did focus quite a bit on. So first of all, the cameras, the motion detection is PIR motion, so it's heat-based motion. So typically, things like branches swaying or leaves moving around won't trigger the cameras. The second thing is we have a motion sensitivity slider, we call it, within the app. So depending on where you put it, if you find that you're getting too many videos, or you're getting triggers from things you don't want triggers from, you can slide the sensitivity down, and vice versa. If you feel like you're not getting videos, you kind of slide it up. And it takes a little bit of time to get it worked out, but we've done everything we can. We also have posted a number of videos and facts of the best way to set up your cameras for the optimal motion detection.
How does it work with motion detection through glass? Let's say you want to set it up.
It doesn't work through glass.
Okay.
That's the short answer.
Right. And
as you know, PIR.
Right. Okay. Is there battery monitoring within the application so that it can tell you, the devices or the apps can tell you when the batteries in a particular device are running low, and you can go out and buy new ones.
Yeah, once we get down to about 20%, you'll start getting alerts saying your battery is low, and then when it gets down to 5%, say really need to change your battery, and so we absolutely monitor that.
Are batteries included?
Batteries are included. Yeah, you get batteries. Yeah.
So you got a mount that's magnetic. Is there an option for you guys to create like a wireless charging solution with a rechargeable battery, and so you take it off, put it on the recharging base station, and then just put it back up?
Well, so Arlo definitely works with CR123 rechargeable batteries. So that's where we're seeing a lot of our customers are buying rechargeables. They have 2 sets, or if they have 4 cameras, they have 8 sets, and they're just kind of rotating the batteries in and out. I mean, people can do the math; it makes sense, right? So, you know, as far as having a dedicated charging device or some sort of additional charging option, not something we're contemplating for the current generation camera, but something we'd probably be looking at for a next generation camera.
How far does your warranty extend for what are meant to be weatherproof cameras?
It's our standard Netgear warranty, and you guys are going to shoot me because I'm drawing a blank on what that is.
Don't drop it in the poo.
Yeah, so so that's a good point, which I don't think I mentioned. It's IP65 rated, which means it'll work in the elements, rain, things like that. But yeah, you can't drop it in a pool. So we can get the warranty information. I just don't want to speak out of turn if I have it wrong.
You're specifying the benefit of it being totally wireless, but there are probably some situations where people would want to, you know, it might be situated somewhere near a wall socket, and plugging it in might be more beneficial than using batteries.
Yeah.
Is that, does it have that capability?
No, it does not. We specifically did not include kind of an additional power accessory, but you never know, we may come out with more cameras that are power cameras here in the future.
And I mean, these don't pan and tilt automatically.
No, they don't.
Future versions, you could do that if you
Yeah,
wanted to.
that one may not. When we looked at it, first of all, you know, we have a really nice field of view HD video. So at least my personal experience and feedback we're getting from our customers is, you know, where you can place the cameras, you pretty much get a good view. And, you know, quite honestly, if you don't, add another camera and you kind of, you know, fill in the gaps that way. Yeah. There's trade-offs, right? So if you want to do a battery-operated camera, you can't just bundle everything into one. Power gets, you know, you start draining battery pretty quickly. So those were some of the trade-offs that we made.
All right, thank you all very much. As we said, the Netgear team will be around. If you've got any more questions, you want to see a demo, you want to see the interface, you've got any more questions, I'm more than happy to spend the time and run through with you guys. Right.